Hi, I'm Patrick McAleer from the English department at Inver Hills Community College. Here at Inver Hills, I teach a little bit of everything in the English department: freshman comp, composition 2, a lot of literature classes from world literature to introduction to literature to contemporary fiction and the novel, both featuring the works of Stephen King, my specialty, if you will. I think everyone has a very specific backstory regarding Stephen King. As a child of the 80s, my parents had several King books on the shelves, and once I got to high school, we had sustained silent reading at one point every single day, and I needed something, so I grabbed a copy of The Gunslinger by Stephen King. Completely random, and I got about 30 pages into it and just started loving it. My love of Stephen King may not be universal, but I wish it were, and that's why I want to bring it to the classroom to share my knowledge, my love of Stephen King, and all of his work. And so when I craft my Stephen King oriented classes, I try to give students a nice wide coverage of all the works, some of his classics, some of his lesser known pieces, some of the ones that are indeed purely horrifying and frightening, and ones that are just plain fun, and even some that are just plain disgusting. It's kind of fun to watch students squirm a little bit when, for example, you have a short story about someone trapped in a porta potty with a lot of open wounds. The description is disgusting, but it's engaging, to put it lightly. I often try to bring Stephen King into a lot of my classes. He's my specialty, and even if he doesn't fully fit within certain curriculums, I can always find a way to make him fit. And for me, one of the great joys is to see a student in perhaps a writing class who has experienced a short story say, I really like this guy. Or there's nothing more endearing to me to see a student actually enjoy a piece of literature, enjoy their education, but then also use that joy, that passion to really dive into a piece, try to understand it, engage other perspectives, and learn about the world through something as simple as a fictional journey that probably has more basis in reality than they thought at the outset. Writing and literature go hand in hand. As Stephen King says in his memoir on writing, if you want to write, you have to read. And if you don't have the time to read, you don't have the time or the tools to write. And so for those who want to be better writers, you're going to have to read. Whether it be fiction, a magazine, a car owner's manual, anything to see just how language functions. And of course, when we think about language is very scary and slippery. One of my favorite writers of the last 40 years is actually the comedian George Carlin, who once said, by and large, language is a tool used to conceal the truth. And the more we're able to unearth truth and to see what people are hiding behind their words, and perhaps even use that to our own advantage in our essays, see that in writing and literature, I think it's going to make us into better, smarter, stronger citizens. And so if you want to be a part of the solution, hey, learn how to write, learn how to read. It's fun. Or as I tell people, I hate writing, but I love being done with it, and I love the process of reading and learning about what I want to write about. So like anything else, it can be fun. Just got to make it so, and I'll try and make it fun if you're in my class.